Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today for our Career Labs, and thank you for joining session Career Lab Talk, Build Your Own Job with the Head of Data Science at Ada Intelligence, Jack Reifer. Speaker will begin in a few minutes, and as a quick reminder, a brief survey will follow up in the end of the sessions. Also, please use ODSC East hashtag to share the sessions you are excited for on your social media, the speakers who inspire you, and your next step on your job's career. Also, you will have a chance to win an Apple TV All Access Pass to ODSC Europe 2021 and other cool prizes from ODSC partners. All of your feedback helps our future conferences keep in shape. So please join me in welcoming our speaker, Jack Reifer. Also, we will have a Q&A session. I will share a Q&A link in the chat so you can join and ask your question there. Jack, you can start.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. I hope you hear me okay. If you have any issues, let me know in the chat. Very happy to be here. Very happy to be kicking off this career lab. And today I'm going to talk to you about building your own job, how to solve the need experience to get a job and need a job to get experience conundrum. So just a very, very brief note about myself. I am originally a psychologist and behavioral economist turned data scientist a couple of years back. I work with psychometric data and people analytics, looking for ways to do individual and collective improvement through data science. And right now I am the head of data science at Ada Intelligence. And I am also a datapreneur, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So here's the big problem. You need experience to get a job, but you need a job to get experience. And this is something that I've talked to a lot of people about, and it happens too much. There's a lot of great data scientists out there. A lot of them are new. There's a lot of companies needing data scientists, and yet this is like the big hurdle for most of them. The biggest reason for this is that data science is fairly new. It's growing very fast, but it is still a very immature industry. It's as anything that's new, it takes a while for everybody involved to understand where everything fits together and how to do things the best way. This is experienced very differently by the new data scientists and by companies. On the new data scientist side, they need the experience to get a job, but there are very, very few entry-level jobs. So, and there's very few internships as well. So how do they get experience in data science without having access to those jobs and those internships that are very common and usual to find in other industries that are a lot more advanced in several ways? On the other side, we have the companies. And what's the deal with the companies? Well, for them, we have the big and experienced companies. We've got Facebook, Google, Uber, etc. Companies that have been doing data science since the beginning. They're a lot more mature. They have big data science teams, not just one, but several teams. And they already have the hang of how to do interview process, of how to hire people. Some of them have internships. A lot of them have entry-level jobs, even though they are very limited. Then you have the big and inexperienced companies, the companies that are just starting or started very recently to hire data scientists, and they still don't know exactly how to do this. So they're still trying to hire data scientists the same way they hire developers. And that can be an issue because data scientists and developers are not necessarily the same thing. Then you have the small and medium businesses. This is a place where the industry is growing a lot, and they want data scientists, but maybe they have the budget for one. So if they're going to hire someone, they want to have someone that has a lot of experience. And it's in this area where you find a lot of the famous, we want a data scientist with 15 years of experience in the industry, which as we all know, is practically impossible unless you were one of the builders or the researchers working on data science 15 years ago. And then finally, you have the startups. Startups need data scientists, but again, they have limited budget. They want people that are very experienced. They're not necessarily sure about what they need or how to go about searching for it or hiring it, the talent that they need. So again, this is the problem with our industry. It's very inexperienced, and we have a long way to go until data science is part of the mainstream, although it's growing very, very, very fast. So how do we bridge the gap? How do we bridge this big issue of you need experience to get a job, but if you don't have a job, if you don't get some kind of a job, how are you going to build the experience that companies are looking for? There are a few options. The first one, and that comes to mind most of the time when talking to most people, is internships. Now, if you get an internship with a company that has a good and established team of data science, this is the dream situation. Whether it's a paid internship or an unpaid internship, you will learn a lot because you have people that are going to mentor you. There's already a team in place. People know what they're doing. They're used to working together. They will teach you everything there is to know about working in the data science industry. However, those internships are very limited. They're highly competitive, meaning that there's, even if there are a few, there's going to be hundreds, if not many hundreds of people applying for them. And some of them, unfortunately, again, because of the inexperience of the industry, they're not set up well. They're internships from startups, for example, and you're going to be their only data scientist. So again, your chances of learning are very limited. They're not sure what they're looking for. Sometimes you're going to end up doing work that is not actually data science work. It's going to be data analytics, which is fine if you want a data analytics position. So it's still up in the air. Internships are not the solution yet. We would need much more companies, much more mature companies, knowing exactly what they need and having these spaces where they know what to do with interns instead of having them make photocopies or do work that is not actually related to them, like just, take this Excel sheet and analyze the data in it. Second, competitions. I love competitions. They are a lot of fun. You can learn a lot from them. They will help you get your name out, let people know that you understand data science, that you know what you're doing. And if you're good enough and lucky enough and you put together a team, hopefully you can actually win some of these competitions, which means that you can actually make some money out of competitions. The issue is that most of these competitions, they are not really what you would call real world challenges. They give you the data is already prepared, already cleaned up. You have a very clear question that you want to answer. You know what the model's about. It's not like in the real world where you have to sit down with people, figure out what it is that they want, figure out what kind of data you have, figure out everything from beginning all the way to the end. When you're doing competitions, what you're doing is building a better mousetrap. You know exactly what you're building, you just have to build a better version of it. Real world is very different because you have to start from scratch. You have to answer questions. You have no idea if you have the data. You have no idea even if you can answer those questions at one point in time. So again, competitions are great. If you want to do competitions, do them, post them, become a Kaggle Grandmaster, do driven data. There's plenty of other platforms out there, and do it. They're fun. You will learn. You can showcase your talent. They're good, but they will not give you most of the real world experience that you actually need. The other one, again, I love it, project building. Do build projects, do look around for something that you want to build that is exciting, do neural networks, do models, do regressions, logistic regressions, linear regressions, everything that you can, random forest, one of my favorite algorithms. Do things that showcase that you know what you are doing. Post them on GitHub, post them on your social media, let people know what you're doing, share your Jupyter notebooks, share your code. This is a great way to show people you know what you're doing, especially if you're building a project from scratch. But again, if you're building a project from scratch, most of the time you're going to be building a project that other people are building. Like, for example, still today, everybody wants to build COVID models. It's great, it's a great idea, it's great practice, but again, everybody is doing the same thing. And just like with competitions, you end up just building a better mousetrap because almost everything is set up for you. The data is clean, or you can find some clean data sets. Everything is sort of set up and you know exactly what question you're going to answer. So again, all these options are amazing, great options. They're fantastic to learn, fantastic to showcase your talent. But again, we want to get experience, because without real world experience, it's very, very hard to get the job that you want. So this is my proposal. What you do is datapreneurship. You work on what you want, and you work on what you want to learn, on what's interesting for you, and you literally build your own job. So what exactly is datapreneurship? It's building your own company, building what you want to build. It's starting from nothing, because as we said, big experienced companies have very limited entry-level jobs. Then you have the big inexperienced companies that are just starting to learn how to hire data scientists. Small and medium businesses are just starting to hire, and most of the time they only have room for one data scientist, so they want people with a lot of experience. And startups, again, they need data scientists. This is very important for them, but again, they have a very limited budget, and they want experienced people, because if you only have a limited budget, you can only hire 1 or 2 people. You want them to know as much as possible. So why datapreneurship? Why starting your own idea, building your own solution for a problem that's important to you? Why do this? One, because you are going to work on what is interesting and important to you. Think about what pains you. What are the big world problems in your community that you would like to solve, and that you think that data science would be the right place to solve it? And so again, you get to work on what you care about, not what the company cares about, not making money for this company, but building an actual product that's important for you. And you're going to have to start from scratch, from nothing, literally from zero. Second, you're going to be doing real world work. So you're going to work from defining a problem all the way to the deployment of whatever model or system you end up building. So you're going to get experience of the whole cycle of a project, from asking questions, from figuring out what exactly it is that you want to solve, from asking the business questions. How am I going to do this? Is this something sellable? Is this something that people are going to want to buy or pay for? Can I integrate this with other people's systems? And how is it going to be useful? You're going to have to gather your own data, figure out where to get it, whether to scrape it from the web, whether to put together tons of databases that you're going to have to clean up and spend a lot of time cleaning them up. Trust me, it is true that this is a big part of being a data scientist, data cleaning. Then you're going to do your model building, you're going to do testing, and you're going to end up doing deployment. So you're going to get experience for the whole system. And if you record this and you share your progress in social media and you tell people what you're doing, companies are going to see that you know that you actually have the experience that they need to work on their projects. Then 3, again, you're going to be working with real data as is. No more clean, wonderful data sets like you get in Kaggle. No more every column has the right kind of data. Sometimes you need to transform it a little, but it's not that complicated. Here, you're going to work with the beautiful mess that tends to be data. You're going to get data sets from all over. You're going to have to scrape the web for your own data, and it's going to be glorious. Trust me, it's going to be amazing. You're going to get frustrated sometimes, but you're going to learn a lot more than you would ever learn with any other pre-cleaned data set, and you're really going to get your skills to the point where you can deal with any kind of data at any point in time. Number 4, you're going to get business and working understanding. This is really, really important. Business knowledge is vital for data science. And the fact that you're able to go figure out a problem on something that you probably knew nothing about before, researching it, figuring out how to build, how to create an actual business question, how to get that into a working product or service. This is real life work. And that's what you're going to show companies that you can do with DATApreneurship. You're actually going to be able to build a project that is actually useful and that is going to showcase all of your skills. And especially it's going to show people that you know how business works and you know how data science works and you can actually get something done. Then number 5, you're going to develop new skills. Of course, this will help you develop all your technical skills, but more importantly, it's going to develop your social and emotional skills. If you put together a small team, you're going to have to work with them. You're going to have to work with mentors. You're going to have to talk to people. You're going to have to do your own research. You're going to be able to develop your presentation skills, your talking skills, your collaboration skills. And of course, it's going to fine tune all of your technical skills as you develop whatever product or service you're doing. Number 6, and very important, you're going to be building a business that you own. If you start a DATApreneurship project and you build a great model, you build a great product, you build a great service, you own it, meaning that you can either sell it directly to people and you're going to build a business and you're going to grow your business afterwards, or you're going to be able to sell your idea to a company. The company is going to buy your idea and probably hire you on as a data scientist for that project. So again, there's a lot of benefits to doing DATApreneurship. So please give it a chance. Again, for me, it's a little bit better than just doing whatever project, because now you're building something that is going to be useful from scratch, from beginning to end. And that means that you're going to showcase your experience and that you're going to gain experience no matter what else is happening. So how do you get started as a datapreneur? So you're ready, you want to get to work. What do you do? Well, first step, believe it or not, is you find a problem. There's an unusual saying of all time, don't bring me problems, bring me solutions. That is the wrong mindset. You don't want solutions, you want problems. And this is one of the biggest changes in mindset that you should have, even when you start working for a company. Instead of trying to work on solutions, start with a problem. Put problems in front of you, figure out how much of a problem they are, and after you can start building solutions. So start with a problem that pains you, something that actually hurts you in one way or another, that you think is going to make a big difference. It can be something that's going to help the world. It can be something that's going to help your community, but do something that's important to you. Number 2, build a team. Find other people that share your pain and ask them to join your team. You might need other people apart from data scientists. You might want to get together with developers, maybe JavaScript developers that are good at deployment. You might want to actually get together with front-end or back-end developers. You might want to get together with someone that has experience with agile methodologies, something that's going to help the project move forward. Now, but do build a team. Putting people together, this is going to give you the best chance of success for your entrepreneurship, for your project, and the best chance to learn amazing social and emotional skills that are going to be very, very useful once you either build your business or get a job in a company. Then you start finding data-centered solutions. How can data science, how can a data-centered approach help solve this problem? And try different things, because what you want to do then is go out and test your ideas with other people. Talk to them. Do you think this is going to work? Would you use this? Here's a prototype or a sketch of my idea. How would you use it? Would you pay for it? Are you willing to pay for something like this? How much would you pay for it? And once you have the right idea and you sort of think, oh, this is the right idea to move forward, then you start prototyping. And you do simple prototypes first, and you go out and you keep testing them until you have something that's ready to sell. And then the most important part of any datapreneurship or entrepreneurship project is you sell, you sell, you sell. Always be selling. You want to be able to sell whatever it is you're building to someone else. And trust me, this is the biggest, most important skill you're going to develop that's going to be valuable for companies. If you can prove to a company that you can build products and services that can actually sell, they are going to want you. They're going to be throwing their offers at you. Again, if your business, if you want to, or if your business becomes a success, then you want to develop more and more and better selling skills to keep selling and starting to grow your business. So again, as I said, datapreneurship for me is one of the best ways to develop your skills. You're building your own job instead of having to depend on other people to give you a job or to give you a chance. I know this is not for everyone, but think about this. What are you doing while you're looking for a job apart from looking for a job? You can be building projects, or you can be building products and services you might be able to sell. You're going to learn a lot more by becoming a datapreneur than you're going to learn by just building projects or just getting on board with someone else's project just to help, or even doing an internship. Again, for me, the only place you're going to learn more than in datapreneurship is if you're lucky enough to get into a company in a position where there's already a great and established data science team. So give datapreneurship a chance. Go for it, grab it, start building something that you can be proud of, that's just yours, that you can actually sell, that you can actually tell people, hey, look, I built this from scratch. Not something that already had a solution, not something that somebody else proposed, but something that's important for me. We do have a Datapreneurs channel. It's an initiative to just help data scientists, ML practitioners, AI experts, and enthusiasts create new data-centered businesses. It's completely free. You just join our Discord channel, you start working. There's a lot of people looking to join a team. So if this is your thing, feel free to drop me a note. Feel free to join our Datapreneurs team, and just be happy that you can now start building something. You have another choice, another option, another opportunity to actually grow your skills and showcase to the world what you're capable of doing. To finish up, I wanted to give you a few ideas of projects that we are actually working on right now at Datapreneurs, or that other teams that I've worked with in the past are working on right now. These are all data-centered projects. To give you an idea that there's a lot of room for data science right now. And there's also a couple of ideas of things that I've seen recently that I think data science could help, and that I haven't seen yet anybody working on them. The first one is AI and autism. This is a project in Datapreneurs right now, working on figuring out a way to help parents be able to measure the progress in their children. The problem with ADS, with autism disorder spectrum, is that it's very hard for parents that have children with ADS to be able to know if what they're doing and all the therapy and things that they're paying for, how much this is helping their child, how much they're actually helping them develop. So we're trying to build a system with data science that can help parents actually measure how much their social and emotional skills are advancing. There's also a data science recommender system. There's a lot of people wanting to learn data science. The difficult thing is where to start, what's the best course to take, where are the best resources online. So a group of data scientists are putting together an amazing recommender system. Again, data science is perfect for recommender systems. So there you go. Agriculture and automatization. There's a lot that can be done with agriculture, and think about this. Our food supply depends on agriculture. We need to get better at it. We need to be able to have more food for more people, better distributed. And what better way to do it than with data science? I've seen great projects from something that you might not think of, which is cucumber ripeness system, So they put a camera on the cucumber collector to check to see if the cucumber is ready. If it is, it collects it. If it's not, it just lets it go. So there's a lot of small places where data science can help agriculture. If you're interested in this, there's also Serge Massis. He's a great data scientist. He works for Syngenta, and he's doing a lot of work on how to improve agriculture with data science. So check him out. Other projects, this is a project that I have not seen happening yet, but please, if this is something that interests you, go for it. Fertilizer production. It turns out we're still, apart from improving the process to be more engineering-wise efficiency, I would say, we're still building fertilizers the same way we were doing it 200 years ago. So we need to get better at it. Because we need fertilizers to grow things, and we need to build better fertilizers. So if you want to get into that, that's a great opportunity. Another project I was mentoring a while back is water purity with satellite images. Again, here's computer vision to the rescue. And what they're doing is they're checking out satellite images and teaching a model where they already taught the model to check out the purity of the water just by looking at the system. By comparing it with samples that they've been taking, and it's working out fairly well, and it's a very creative way and a very cheap way to find pure sources of water, or to find out how contaminated water is becoming in certain other places. You all know about the Ever Given, I'm sure, that happened in the Suez Canal last week. A huge mega transporter of containers got stuck, which was a huge issue. And that just lit up the issue that distribution and logistics is a problem. It's something that we depend on, and it's very fragile right now. So getting data science into distribution and logistics, and starting to solve the problems of how we distribute goods, materials, and materials right now throughout the world would be an amazing idea for any kind of business. If you want to get into it, don't try to solve the global problem, but just if you can solve just a tiny little bit of the distribution and logistics services, you'll be doing the world a favor, and you're probably going to be building a great business. By the way, I forgot to tell you one of the big mantras of entrepreneurship: the bigger the problem, the bigger the market. So if you find a big problem, there's going to be a big market for that solution. Then another one that's very important: transparency. We have to talk about issues with governance, with governments, with company transparency. And this is a place where data science will shine if you can come up with a functional solution. I've seen a few of them. Nothing's perfect yet. There's still a lot of room for improvement. And finally, the stuff that I generally work on, and that my company, the company I work for, Ada Intelligence, generally it's actually trying to solve. First of all, it's using data science for individual growth and development. And of course, for organizational development, we use a lot of psychometrics. We use a lot of people analytics. And we're trying to build things that are going to help people grow and develop their skills, both their technical skills, but most importantly, their social and emotional skills. And this is a place where I believe data science can shine, and it can be used for many other areas. And of course, organizational development, how to measure culture, how to improve organizational culture, how to improve satisfaction of both the people that work in the company, clients, and all the other stakeholders. These are things that data science can be very useful at solving. So again, if you have an idea, bring it forward. If you want to solve any of these problems, there are ways that we can do it, and datapreneurship is definitely a good way to get started, even while you're looking for a job. Because I understand that sometimes you want a job as soon as possible because you need the income. Datapreneurship sometimes can help you start creating income very quickly. Sometimes it can take a while, but it will definitely be something that you can do that will eventually pay off if you keep at it, and that you can do it while you're looking for a job and even while you're working. In the past, I have done entrepreneurship while working for a company, and a lot of people have done this. So yes, you can do it. One of the best examples of this is a company called Warby Parker, which I think somebody from the company is going to be speaking later today. I forgot her name. but that company sells glasses online. It's a great company. And the founders, when they started, every single one of them had a job. So you can do datapreneurship while working and while looking for a job. So again, this can be your chance to build your own company and of course to build your own job. So again, thank you very much for listening. I'm very happy that you were all here. I see that there were quite a few people connected. I'll be here for the next 10 minutes before the other session begins. If you have any questions, and feel free at any point to contact me. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Twitter. You can check out my Medium channel. I have a few articles there, and you can definitely join us at our Discord, Datapreneurs channel on Discord. And I'll be happy to push you, help you, mentor, give you guidance. And there's tons of other people you can get together with, build a team. There's other mentors that know a lot more than me about other things, more specific things, more of a specific part of data science. They're better at deep learning, etc. So there's a big team of people that is just there waiting to help you build your own datapreneur business. So thank you very much. That's it. And if you have any questions, I'm here.
There's a lot of questions. Thank you, Jack, for your amazing talk. And let me share some questions. Okay, there's a lot of questions in our chat. Let's start. Matthew asks, is there a difference in your process between someone just starting out in the career, fresh out of university, versus someone 20 years into their career?
Let's see if I understand the question. Someone that's just starting
you can open a chat, do you have a link? Yes, there's a lot of questions regarding your talk.
Where can I see the questions? There we are.
Yeah.
Okay, so if there's a difference between someone who's just out of college and someone that's where?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't open the questions tab. It's not. How can I open this better? Okay, so no, there's no difference. Actually, when you're in college, it's probably the best time to start doing big projects. Truth be told, a lot of the biggest companies today were built during college times. It's a time where hopefully you have to worry a little bit less about income. You have to worry a little bit less about, paying your bills, paying rent, and all that kind of stuff. Maybe, hopefully, again. And it's a great place because there's tons of other people that are also looking for something to do. So what I would say is that when you're in college, it's the best time to start a datapreneurship idea. When you're in need of a job, it can still be a good idea, but you're probably going to have to split your time between doing your project and actually building and actually looking for a job or doing your job. But again, this is something you can do at any point in time. You can do datapreneurship when you're doing a job. You can do datapreneurship when you're you can do datapreneurship when you're working. So just make sure that you put enough time away to work a little bit on the project and get some guidance if you need to. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, great. So next one, as you can see, the next questions, if your datapreneurship experience actually builds something useful, if you want to showcase your work, don't you lose your IP?
Again, it's actually really good question. You do showcase your work. Please do showcase your work, but you don't have to give away your secrets. In other words, tell people what you're working on. Like, for example, I try to tell people what we do with data intelligence, but I don't give away the secrets. I tell people that we're working on this and how it's doing and how we're managing. I actually did a tutorial on how to build an algorithm using biostatistics, but I don't actually give people the algorithms that we are actually using. I just use other examples. So don't worry about sharing your idea. Just don't share the specific details. Don't share the IP, the intellectual property, just in case somebody that didn't know what the IP meant. Don't share the actual intellectual property, but do share the idea. In my experience, people are not trying to steal your ideas. So do share them. Just keep whatever it is can become intellectual property close to you, and only share with the people that you're working with.
Yeah, great. So next one question, what advice you can give us on how to find the tools, on how to formulate the problem to be solved, how to find the guidance?
Well, first of all, I love the global sustainable development goals that the UN established a while back. They were supposed to be done by 2030. They're probably not going to, but it's a great starting guide. It tells you what are the world's biggest problems, and start with that. Start by looking at what are the world's biggest problems, which are the ones that hurt you the most. For example, zero hunger, the environment, the innovation, the future of work. There's a lot of big things, and start researching and investigating about it. That way you're gonna find like the tiny specific things that might help you get like invested in a problem. And once you see the problem, you start investigating further, you pick the problem, and then you start looking for like specific details, and you start ideating solutions. Don't just stick with one solution, put together several, and then you can research which one of them might probably be the best one. But start with the problem. Look for what are the world's biggest problems and take it from there.
Thank you. And next one is where to get more information about datapreneurs.
Here's the link. This link right here is to the Discord channel. Let me see if I can share it. Yes, I'll share it on the chat. And you can just go there and we'll welcome you and we can start a conversation there. And it's that simple, actually. Let me see where the chat was. Here's the chat. And there's the link.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And next one questions, how do you identify the problems and pain points that you have that can be solved with datapreneurship?
Well, that's where you have to get a little bit creative. And I believe that anything can be solved with data. The question is, does the data exist? And if it does, where do I find it? If it doesn't exist, how do I start collecting it? But I cannot tell you, the pain is going to come from you. You're going to see the problem and you're going to say, this is, for me, this is a problem that hurts. This is a problem that pains me. So I would definitely want to get involved in checking out if I can solve this. To give you an idea, one of the projects that we're building in Datapreneurs, which is the autism AI and autism project, the people involved are related to ADS, whether it is because they're parents of children with ADS or because they work on the industry. One of them's a doctor, psychiatrist that deals with ADS. So at the end of the day, it has to do with something that's important for you. And then you start figuring out how we can use data to solve this problem. And once you can think up of a way, then you start looking for data. I mean, I understand this is a very short talk, and it can be a very big process, but the steps are the same. Just take it one step at a time. And again, if you need to ask any more questions, join us at Datapreneurs and we'll be happy to help. Somebody there will always be happy to help.
Yeah, great, thank you. And next one question is, what is better for career? Stay in small company as only data analyst, data engineer, or data scientist, or look for experienced team to join?
Well, if you want to learn, if it's your first job, probably getting into a company that has an established data science team is the best thing, because you're going to find a lot of mentors there, people that already have gone through issues, problems, pipelines, MLOps, and a lot of things. And a lot of the more problems you have, the more you learn. And hopefully they'll be willing to teach you about it. So that's a great thing. if you start as the only data scientist in a team, you're on your own. You're going to have to figure out how to do things by yourself. But still, if you have the chance and you like that idea, go for it. But please do look for help, look for mentors. There's a lot of people. Data science is still a young industry, but it has one huge advantage. There's plenty of data scientists out there, and we are willing to help you. Just contact us, and if we can give you guidance, if we can give you assistance, if we can give you any help at all, we're happy to do it. But again, if your purpose is learning and becoming a great data scientist, and if it's your first job, you're probably better off getting into a company that has an established data science team. But again, if your only opportunity and the chance that it's in front of you is joining a small startup, go for it. Just one thing with startups, make sure, and I've seen a lot of startups, make sure that you're treating people well. I understand that your budget is limited, and if you can't pay them and you're doing an internship, it's okay. But if it's an unpaid internship, at least be nice enough to offer a small stake in the company, because I know as a startup that's your biggest asset. But please don't ask people to just work for free and just let them go. So again, that's the other problem with working with a startup, that since they're starting, their budgets are limited, and if sometimes you do a great job and then you just leave and you're out with nothing.
Yeah, thank you very much for answering. And yeah, Jack, thank you. Unfortunately, we are out of time, and you could continue like speaking to attendees and answering other questions in the chat on our platform. I will share a link with you. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining this talk, and thank you, Jack. Again, it was amazing, and I will end our session.
Thank you for having me. And if you want to talk, I'll be in the chat. And again, I'll see you in Datapreneurs if you need any help.
Thank you. Bye-bye.